Welcome to the Multiverse channel. 3 times Superman was bad. Superman stands out among superheroes as one of the most outstanding exemplary figures in fiction. This is why so many find the story of an evil Superman so compelling, imbued with the terror of seeing this godlike being turn against humanity or the tragedy of seeing this hero become a villain. There have been times in comics when, either by his own free will or through the manipulation of a villain, Superman changed from the greatest hero in the world to a terrible enemy. DC's great writers have done this concept justice in many fascinating stories that play with the concept in unique and creative ways. Superman, The Dark Side, 1998. John Francis Moran Kieron Dwyer created this story where baby Kal-El's spaceship lands on the worst possible planet, Apocalypse. There, Superman's most evil villain, Darkseid, raised Kal-El as his own son, conquering worlds in his name. But it's not all doom and gloom, for this Superman has within him a spark of redemption that holds a promise of hope in this dark, alternate world. This story was loosely adapted in the animated series episode Legato 2000. Darkseid captured and brainwashed Superman into believing he had been raised on Apocalypse. It was the darkest chapter in the series, ending with something depressing. However, it led to the more optimistic Justice League Series 2001 where Superman's conflict with Darkseid persisted. Batman, Hush 2002. Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee's Batman classic saw Batman and Catwoman at one point investigating Poison Ivy, following her to Metropolis where they discovered that the villain had brainwashed Superman using her newly discovered plant powers. Infused with kryptonite, always prepared, Batman invoked his practical kryptonite ring to defend himself against Superman in a tense chase, doing everything to stay alive. The Man of Steel was freed from Poison Ivy's control through the intervention of Catwoman, who dropped Lois Lane from the Daily Planet building. His love for Lois took effect, nullifying his orders and saving her, which broke Hera's influence. Although brief, it was a frightening moment when the most powerful superhero of them all suddenly became the lackey of one of Batman's villains. Superman, Red Sun 2003. What if the Kal-El spacecraft had landed in the Soviet Union? That's the point of Mark Millar's story. Raised as a communist loyal to the Soviet state, Superman takes control of his new adopted country to expand a seemingly utopian reign across the world, while Lex Luthor opposes his rule from the United States. Spanning decades, the epic story could have been a multi-year series in its own right. Though part of what makes this take so fascinating is that Superman isn't irredeemable. Although he is a conqueror, he is moved by genuine compassion from beginning to end, to the point that some fans of this famous classic do not even consider him evil in himself. Not only that, his Lex Luthor is basically the good guy in the story despite his moral imperfections and is portrayed as one of the character's most intelligent appearances. And do you remember another time when Superman looked bad? Leave it in the comments.